Welcome to our comprehensive guide on how to unrestrict your Capital One credit card. If you're facing limitations or restrictions on your card, you're not alone. Capital One, like many other credit card issuers, implements various security measures that can sometimes lead to restrictions on card usage. In this video, we'll explore the common reasons why your Capital One credit card may be restricted and provide you with practical steps to resolve these issues and regain full access to your card's benefits. Navigating the realm of credit cards can sometimes feel like traversing a maze of rules and regulations, particularly when faced with unexpected restrictions on your card. Capital One, like many other credit card issuers, implements various security measures to protect both the cardholder and the company from potential fraud or misuse. Understanding the reasons behind these restrictions is essential for effectively resolving them and maintaining a positive relationship with your credit card issuer. Suspicious activity. Capital One employs sophisticated fraud detection systems that continuously monitor card transactions for any signs of suspicious activity. These systems analyze various factors, such as transaction amounts, locations, and patterns, to identify potentially fraudulent transactions. If the system detects any irregularities that raise red flags, it may automatically restrict your card to prevent further unauthorized charges. Examples of suspicious activity that could trigger restrictions include unusual purchasing patterns, such as sudden large purchases or transactions in locations far from your usual spending habits. Multiple failed authorization attempts, which may indicate someone trying to use your card without your permission. Transactions that deviate from your typical spending behavior, such as purchases in high-risk categories like gambling or adult entertainment. While these security measures are designed to protect cardholders from fraud, they can sometimes result in false positives, leading to legitimate transactions being flagged as suspicious. If you find that your Capital One credit card has been restricted due to suspected fraud, it's essential to act promptly to verify the legitimacy of the flagged transactions and regain access to your card. Late payments. Another common reason for restrictions on Capital One credit cards is late or missed payments. When you fail to make at least the minimum payment by the due date indicated on your statement, Capital One may impose restrictions on your card until the outstanding balance is resolved. Late payments not only affect your credit score but also signal to Capital One that you may be experiencing financial difficulties or are unable to manage your credit responsibly. To avoid restrictions due to late payments, it's crucial to prioritize timely payment of your credit card bills. Set up automatic payments or reminders to ensure that you never miss a payment deadline. If you're struggling to make your payments, consider reaching out to Capital One to discuss your options, such as setting up a payment plan or exploring hardship programs that may be available to you. Credit limit exceeded. Exceeding your credit limit is another common trigger for restrictions on Capital One credit cards. Your credit limit represents the maximum amount you're allowed to charge on your card, based on factors such as your creditworthiness and income. When you exceed your credit limit, it signals to Capital One that you may be overextending yourself financially or may have difficulty managing your credit usage. If you attempt to make a purchase that would push you over your credit limit, Capital One may decline the transaction or approve it but impose restrictions on your card until the balance is paid down below the credit limit. In some cases, Capital One may also charge an over-limit fee for exceeding your credit limit. To avoid restrictions due to exceeding your credit limit, it's essential to keep track of your available credit and avoid charging more than you can afford to repay. Monitor your credit card balance regularly and consider setting up alerts to notify you when you're approaching your credit limit. If you consistently find yourself bumping up against your credit limit, consider requesting a credit limit increase from Capital One or exploring other credit options that better suit your financial needs. Identity verification. Capital One may also place restrictions on your credit card if they encounter issues verifying your identity. This could occur if you've recently updated your personal information, such as your address or phone number, and Capital One needs to confirm the changes. Additionally, if Capital One detects any discrepancies or inconsistencies in your account information, they may require additional verification to ensure the security of your account. If your card is restricted due to identity verification issues, Capital One will typically reach out to you directly to request the necessary documentation or information to resolve the issue. This may include providing copies of official documents such as your driver's license, passport, or utility bills to confirm your identity and address. It's essential to respond promptly to any requests for verification to expedite the resolution of the issue and regain full access to your card. Now, let's discuss the steps you can take to unrestrict your Capital One credit card. Contact Capital One customer service. The first and most straightforward step is to contact Capital One's customer service. You can find the customer service number on the back of your credit card or on their website. When speaking with a representative, explain the situation calmly and provide any necessary information they may require to verify your identity. If your card was restricted due to suspicious activity, be prepared to confirm recent transactions and provide any relevant details to prove that the activity was legitimate. Address late payments or overdue balances. If your card was restricted due to late payments or an overdue balance, make sure to address these issues promptly. Log into your Capital One online account or mobile app to view your account status and make a payment to bring your account up to date. Consider setting up automatic payments to ensure that you never miss a payment in the future. Verify your identity. If Capital One has requested additional verification of your identity, follow their instructions carefully. This may involve submitting documentation such as a copy of your driver's license or passport, proof of address, or other forms of identification. Be proactive in providing the requested information to expedite the verification process. Request a credit limit increase. If your card was restricted due to exceeding your credit limit, consider requesting a credit limit increase from Capital One. A higher credit limit can provide you with more flexibility and reduce the likelihood of future restrictions. Keep in mind that Capital One will evaluate your creditworthiness before approving a credit limit increase. Monitor your account. Once your card restrictions have been lifted, continue to monitor your Capital One account regularly. Review your transactions for any unauthorized activity and report any suspicious charges to Capital One immediately. Stay informed about your credit card's terms and conditions to avoid any future issues. Section 3. Tips for preventing future restrictions, 200 words. To minimize the chances of having your Capital One credit card restricted in the future, consider the following tips. Pay your bills on time and in full each month to maintain a positive payment history. Monitor your account for any unusual activity and report any suspicious transactions to Capital One promptly. Keep your contact information up to date with Capital One to ensure that you receive important notifications and alerts. Be cautious when using your credit card for online purchases and only provide your card information to trusted merchants. Regularly review your credit report to check for any errors or unauthorized accounts that could indicate identity theft. Conclusion. In conclusion, resolving restrictions on your Capital One credit card requires proactive communication with Capital One's customer service, addressing any outstanding issues such as late payments or identity verification, and taking steps to prevent future restrictions. By following the steps outlined in this video and staying vigilant about your credit card usage, you can ensure that your Capital One credit card remains accessible and beneficial to you. Thank you for watching, and we hope this guide has been helpful.